Today we'll talk about equilibrium of bodies. So what is equilibrium? A body is said to be in equilibrium if its state of rest or state of motion does not change under the action of applied forces. And for a coplanar force system, the necessary and sufficient condition of equilibrium are as follows. The vector sum of all the forces acting on a body must be equal to 0, and the vector sum of the moment about any point of all the forces acting on a body must also be equal to 0. If these two conditions are being satisfied by a coplanar force system, then the body under the action of these forces will be in the state of equilibrium. Let us move further. The movement of a rigid body differ from that of a particle in the sense that in case of rigid body, the rotation also comes into the picture. So let us understand the difference between a rigid body and the particle. A particle is a point and it does not have any dimension. So whenever any forces are applied on it, any kind of forces, the resultant of those forces, let us say this is the resultant, will lead to the translatory motion of that particle. Whereas if we take the example of a body, then under the action of forces being applied on it, it may translate as well as rotate under the lever arm of the forces. So a rigid body will be in force equilibrium as well as in the moment equilibrium. Let us study the equilibrium in detail from these diagrams. This is diagram number 1. So if a body is, this is the body given here, diagram A. If the body is subjected to two equal and opposite forces acting on the same line, these are concurrent forces, then there will be no motion. But under the action of these equal and opposite forces, the body is in equilibrium. It is not moving. It is in the state of rest under the action of these equal and opposite forces. Example number 2. Here only one force is being applied, which is passing through the center of mass of the body, and there is no lever arm created by this force. Hence this body will translate only. It will tend to move in the direction of the applied force. Then if a body is subjected to a couple, this is the couple generated by force F, two equal and opposite forces acting at, they have some distance between them. This is the distance. So this, under the action of these forces, the body will rotate and it will not translate. But if there is only one force applied on the body and it is applied at some distance from the uh, center of the mass, then it will have moment equal to F into A, and force applied is F. Then due to force F it will translate, and due to moment F into A it is going to rotate this one. So let us understand equilibrium in detail about different force systems. The first one is coplanar concurrent force system. Coplanar means the forces are acting in one plane, and concurrent means they are passing through one point, as shown in this diagram. So this is a sphere. It has a weight acting downwards and some tension T in the rod attached to it, and the reaction generated from the wall, it may be resting against a wall. So these are the three forces. These are coplanar forces, and these are concurrent forces passing through the center of mass, all the forces. So under this system, the body will be in equilibrium if it satisfies these conditions, and the conditions are: Fx is algebraic sum of the all x component of the forces. We can resolve the forces into x and y components. And Fy is the algebraic sum of all the y component of the forces. For in this system, let us take this as the center. This is R, and we can resolve T into Ty and Tx and W. So Fx will be, this is R minus Tx. This must be equal to 0, and all the vertical forces, let us take this upward as positive, minus W. These are the equilibrium condition which must be satisfied by this body in order to be in equilibrium. So let us say if this resultant is not coming as 0, suppose, then it cannot be in equilibrium. So we can bring that body in equilibrium by applying a force which is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction to the resultant of these forces. We can find out the resultant of these forces using some theorems, and then we can apply an equal and opposite force. That force will bring this body in equilibrium. It will also bring that force, which is also known as equilibrant, because it is going to bring the body in equilibrium, will will make these equation of equilibrium hold true after the application of that force. Next system is coplanar parallel force system. So forces are passing through one plane, but they are parallel to each other, like in this beam. So we have this beam, this is a simply supported beam, and it is subjected to some point loads F1, F2 and F3, and these are the reactions applied at the support. So it is in equilibrium if algebraic sum of the all forces parallel to the action line of the force is equal to 0, and MA is the algebraic sum of the moment of the force about point A in the plane equal to 0. So let us apply this first equation. Summation fx f is equal to 0 because all the forces are parallel to each other. So we can also say fy is equal to 0. They are parallel to the y plane. So I'll take upward forces as positive, r1 plus r2, these are upward forces, they are positive, minus f1 minus f2 minus f3 equal to 0. So this is first equation of equilibrium. If this equation is satisfied by the beam, that it is in force equilibrium, and it will be in moment equilibrium if, let us say, I'll denote this as point A and this as point B, and if I take moment at about point A and put that equal to 0, so the moment is, as we have discussed earlier, force into lever arm, let us say A equal to 0, and then let us say the distance is A, this is A, I will say this is B, and the distance, this is C. So moment about A will be, I will say F1 into A minus F2 into B minus F3 into C, plus, because this is also plus, I am taking the clockwise moments as plus, this is going to rotate clockwise, minus R2 into, let us say, this L is the length of the beam, into L equal to 0. So this is moment equilibrium for coplanar parallel force system. This is the equation of force equilibrium. If both the equations are being satisfied by this body, then this body is in equilibrium, otherwise not. Otherwise we have to find out an equilibrant force, which we have discussed already. The next system is a coplanar non-parallel non-concurrent force system. So this is the example, and the body is subjected to coplanar forces. Of course, all the this is a 2D body, and all the forces are passing through a plane, but they are not parallel to each other, and they are not passing through one point. Then in such a system, we'll add one more equation of equilibrium, and the first one is algebraic sum of all x component of the force is equal to 0. We can resolve all the forces and find out the algebraic sum of the y component of the forces and put that equal to 0, and we'll take the moment about any point. You can refer to this as, this is the point A, you can take moment about this point as we have discussed earlier, then that will also be equal to 0. So for this system we have three equations of equilibrium which must be satisfied. All these equations of equilibrium are applicable to 2D bodies or 2D structures. That's why we are taking coplanar. Now, what are the different types of forces acting on a body? Let us take the example of a ball which is being pressed against a wall by some force. So this is applied force. Applied force is the external force which is applied on a body. In this case, this is the external force. In civil engineering structures, in case of beams, it can be the load of the floor, it can be the load of the machinery which is being applied externally on the wall, or a load of the occupants. Then this is the self weight of the ball which is acting downwards along the direction of the gravity. This is self weight. It acts vertically downward, and it is assumed to be passing through the center of gravity of the body. Sometimes the self weight of the body is small as compared to other forces, then it may be ignored, as happens with the beam. So in case of beams, in the analysis of beams, because the externally applied load is very large, so we ignore the self weight of the beam and we just take an representative line for the beam, a representative line, and we just analyze this beam for the applied forces. Then we take factor of safety into consideration for any extra forces. So what are the reactions? Now this ball is being pushed against the wall, then this wall uh, will generate a reaction. It will try to uh, apply the reaction is the equal and opposite to the force applied. So as per Newton third law, the reaction is equal and opposite to the action applied, and the reaction adjusts themselves to keep the body in equilibrium. So the reaction will adjust itself to keep the body in equilibrium, and then due to the non-smoothness of this contact surface, frictional force will also act in this case. So these are reactions. So reaction is being applied here. So this is the reaction. In case of beam which is resting on some columns, let us say this is a beam resting on some column subjected to some forces, then reactions will be generated at the contact points between beam and column. So what is a free body diagram next? So in order to analyze the equilibrium condition of a body, it is necessary to isolate the body from the other bodies in contact. So how we can isolate the body in contact and we can apply the forces. So when we draw and sketch the body showing all the external forces from the surrounding that act on the body, such a diagram is known as free body diagram. It is very important step in solving mechanics problem. Let us look at some of the examples of free body diagram. So this is first example. Here a ball is resting on the horizontal surface. So it is the ball has its self weight which is acting vertically downward, and the surface on which it is resting will exert equal and opposite reaction to the self weight of the ball. Here the ball is hanging by a string and supported by the wall. So the wall will generate the reaction and tension will be generated in the string, and weight will act downward. So this is the free body diagram showing all the forces acting on a body. We have isolated the body and all the forces are shown here. Similarly, this is a wall. It is a ball resting between two hinged walls. So reaction 1 and reaction 2 from these two contact surfaces will be generated and W will act downward. So similarly, I want to take one more example of beam. A beam is resting on columns or walls, you can say, like this. So if I isolate the beam, let us say it is subjected to some external forces also. Then if I remove these walls, these two walls, then this reaction will be generated here. You can say this is R1, this is R2, this is F1, this is F2. So this is free body diagram of a beam, and this is the actual diagram of the beam. So in this way we can draw the free body diagram of different bodies along with beams. Principle of equilibrium, two force principle. If a body is in equilibrium acted by two forces, there must be equal and opposite. They must be equal and opposite to each other, and they must be collinear so that the body remains in equilibrium under the action of these two forces. If the body is subjected to three forces, then the resultant of any two forces must be equal, opposite and collinear with the third force, and the three forces keeping the body in equilibrium must be concurrent. And if it is subjected to force principle, then bodies in equilibrium acted upon by four forces, and resultant of any two forces must be equal, opposite, and collinear with the resultant of other two forces. That means the four forces keeping the body in equilibrium must be concurrent. If we use the equation of equilibrium discussed above, then these principles will automatically be satisfied by the equations of equilibrium. So there is a very popular Lami's theorem, which was suggested by Lami's Bernard pair in 1683 to analyze the equilibrium of a body acted upon by three forces. It states that if body is in equilibrium under the action of three coplanar forces, each force is proportional to the sine of angle between the other two forces. So if these are the three forces F1, F2 and F3, and these are the angles between them, then F1 divided by sine of alpha, the opposite angle, the angle in front of F1 is alpha, sine of alpha, F2 divided by sine of beta, F3 divided by sine of gamma should be equal, and it can be it has a proof also. So we can suppose these are the forces, we can draw a triangle, force triangle, by joining the three forces as seen here in this diagram. So we can draw a triangle representing F1, F2, F3 in cyclic order, and we can apply the sine rule. So this is F1, which is denoted by line AB. AB divided by sine 180 degree minus alpha divided by BC divided by sine 180 degree minus beta. This is the front angle, and CA. So this is CA. The front angle is 180 degree minus gamma. This is equal to the Lami's theorem. Let us solve one example. So we need to find out the horizontal force P, for which has to be applied to the block weighing 1000 Newton to hold it in position on a smooth plane AB inclined at 30 degree with the horizontal. So P force will keep the body in equilibrium because it is going to keep the body in its place and it is not going to move. That means P is the resultant force which will keep the body in equilibrium. So we can apply equation of equilibrium to find out the magnitude of P. We need to draw the free body diagram as we have discussed here. So this is the body given to us. We have drawn the free body diagram. This is the surface, contact surface. Reaction will be generated from here, which is denoted by N, normal reaction. So this is denoted by N. We can take the forces, bring the forces into the XY components. So P is horizontal. The weight of the body is acting vertically downward 1000 Newton, and N, reaction, is acting, the angle is given to us. So this is 30 degree. This will also be 30 degree. So that's why this will also be 30 degree. Parallel forces. This is 30. This is 30. So we can now resolve the forces using, we can either use the equation of equilibrium or we can use the Lami's theorem. Let us see what happens if we use equation of equilibrium. So N cos 30 degree minus N cos will be this one, N cos 30 degree vertical force I am taking upward as positive, minus 1000 equal to 0. So N is 1000 divided by cos 130. And if we use all the horizontal forces acting in x direction equal to 0, P minus N, the sine component, N sine 30 degree, P minus N sine 30 degree is equal to, so P is equal to N sine 30, and N we have already taken, we can put it here, which is 577 minus 35. Now we can use the Lami's theorem. So we have three forces here. Yes, so we can use the Lami's theorem. So three forces are acting and the angles between these three forces are known to us. So P divided by, this angle is 150, this is 30, this is 90, so this is total 120 and this is 150. The sum of all the angles is 360 degree. So P divided by sine 150 degree is equal to 1000 divided by sine 120 degree. It is same. It is very quick. Lami's theorem is very quick. Let us take one more example. If a sphere weighing 50 Newton is tied to a point A of a smooth wall by a string so that it makes an angle of 20 degree with the vertical as shown in figure below. Find out the tension in string and the reaction from the wall. So let us draw the free body diagram first of all. Let us remove everything. This is the given problem. So reaction will be generated here and tension will be generated in the string. So tension T, angle is 20 degree. This is R, this is W. If I draw a vertical line, if this angle is 20, this will also be 20. So that's how we got this 20. So now we have three forces, R, T and W, and we can use Lami's theorem or we can use this equations of equilibrium. Both approaches are going to give us same answer. Let us use the Lami's theorem. T divided by T, this angle is 90 degree, this angle is also 90 degree, this angle is also 90 degree. So this is 80 degree. I'm sorry, this is 70 degree. So T divided by sine 90, T divided by the angle between these two forces is 90, R divided by sine 180 minus 20 degree, R divided by sine 180 and 50 divided by, which is the weight, 50 divided by sine 90 plus 20 degrees. So I am going to get T and R as follows. We can resolve the forces into y and x direction. So this is T cos 20 and T sine 20. So vertical forces is T cos 20 minus 50. It will give T is equal to 53.2 and R will give us 18.2 using the equilibrium equations. Thank you so much for paying attention.